Yo, what's happening, YouTube family? I hope that you're doing well out there. In this video, I want to talk about how I dealt with imposter syndrome, and hopefully if you're going through the same things because of your race or because of your educational background, hopefully some of the tips that have helped me overcome those feelings of imposter syndrome help you in your own journey as well. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this topic was because I recently talked at a panel hosted by General Assembly, and the question was around what to do when you feel like you're in a room that you don't belong. And I felt like that many times in my UX career, but also in my life. I went to USC, and a lot of times I was the only black student in my classes. And then I got into the tech workforce, and most of the time I was the only black man in meetings. Right, so this is something that I completely understand, and I just wanted to share some of my experiences and how I overcame those things. So hopefully those things help you in your journey. I graduated from college in 2012, and it took me a long time to get a stable job. But then I began working in tech in 2014, 2015, and it was a huge culture shock for me. I myself grew up in South LA, right? That's where I spent most of my time in my youth. And South LA is mostly a black and Latino community. So for me, I was always in my comfort zone as a kid. And I feel like most of us, we grow up in segregated communities. We go to segregated schools, and when I got in the workforce, I didn't feel comfortable with being myself because I perceived that everybody would think that I was different or I couldn't relate to folks. And how I got over that feeling was I just started opening up to the people around me and just getting to know their lives and what they did. And what I learned from doing that was that most of us are foodies. Most of us have families, and we got crazy grandmas, and we share a lot of similarities, and so I think that it's easy for us to assume that everybody around us is totally different from us and we can't relate to each other. But at the end of the day, we're all gonna die. We all suffer from diseases. We all want to be healthy and wealthy. So if you're a person of a minority background and this is your first time working in the tech field and you just feel totally different, trust me, if you just open up to folks about your life story and understand their life story, I'm sure that you're gonna start to see that there's a lot of similarities between you and the other people around you. And then the other thing that I felt imposter syndrome around was my educational background. The fact that I didn't go to design school, but yet I'm working as a designer was a big thing in my mind, right? That I felt like I wasn't prepared for, or that I didn't have the skills to do the job. And I feel like what that boils down to is just your confidence in yourself. And you might feel like that for a while if you haven't worked on any professional projects, and this is your first time getting a UX job or a tech job. Over time, your confidence is just gonna grow. And I'd say it took me maybe around 2 years to get over that sense of imposter syndrome, because I actually saw that my work was getting built, and I learned how to establish my own process through making mistakes. One maxim that has helped me get over this feeling of imposter syndrome and not feeling like I have the right skills is a formal education will get you a job, but a self-education will make you rich. And what that teaches me and what it brings about and cultivates within me is that when you learn to master your mind and your thoughts, and you understand your strengths and your weaknesses, and you're self-aware of who you are as a person, then it makes it much easier for you to understand what decisions to make in your life or which path to take. I just feel like overall, if you feel like your skill set isn't strong enough, you just need to execute and understand what's working and what's not working. And over time, your confidence is just going to grow. So yeah, guys, that's how I dealt with imposter syndrome. And I'll just give you another tip, at least for myself, coming into the workforce as a professional, but growing up in South LA was two different mindsets, right? Because in South LA, I remember growing up as a teen, and when you aspire to be more, whether you were reading books, whether you were focused on yourself instead of being focused on girls, you were labeled a square. And a square was another term, it was a slang term for nerd. And I remember I was attaching myself when I got into the workforce to that label, thinking to myself, I am, and this was subconsciously, I was attaching myself to being a square, and I lost a sense of myself. And what I had to do was really transform and reprogram the way that I thought based on the attachment I was putting toward my community of South LA. I love South LA, but it's sad that when you're a minority and you're really trying to make it out of your circumstances, that we just label each other in derogatory ways that really just gets ingrained. It's like a seed that you're planting in your mind, and when that seed, if you're growing that seed and it's not something that's going to serve you in life, then you're not helping yourself at the end of the day, right? Ultimately, you're the person that decides your fate. And I know for a lot of minorities coming into tech, you might have faced adversities outside of your professional career that hinder the vision that you have for yourself in the future. So I know for myself, I had to reprogram and retrain my mind to think that I, as a black man, am capable of becoming a VP one day. And I just need to improve on certain things in my communication and the way that I present myself and all those different things. And what I did to overcome and transform my mind to think differently was I started getting into books by Dennis Kimbrough, Miles Monroe, Marcus Garvey, and reading about the stories of black people who were successful before me. Because growing up, I didn't have many examples of people who prospered economically and health-wise, right? So I needed to seek out those mentors through the books that I read. So yeah, guys, I hope that this video helps you in your journey. If it did, you already know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.